Scottie, what have you learned about this team over the past 6 home games?
What have I learned about the team? I feel like I already know everything about the team. We're a hard-working group, come hard to work every day. We fight. I know everything. I feel like I know everything about the group. I don't know how to answer that question.
You had it was a big 6-game stretch. I mean, at home, looking to rebound from some tough times. You went 3-3. Did you feel like you made progress in this stretch, or are you still kind of where you were?
I don't know. Started off slow a couple of the games, which allowed teams to get like a stretch on us, I would say. A good lead, and we just always fight our way back to try to crawl back into the game. We had a good 3 games where we played really solid. I don't know. We're getting there, I guess.
What were Trey and DeJounte doing that made it so difficult to contain?
They just was doing a lot of slip-out ball screens, being able to drive those gaps, holding people off on their back, being able to get deep in the paint, either for the little floaters or DeJounte was getting to the little mid-range shot, or they would just hit the roll. They were just getting options when they got into the deep paint. That was just finding them ways to be able to score the ball. I feel like we just should have guarded the ball better. I feel like that would have helped us.
You mentioned the defense. With the offense getting off to a slow start and then some turnovers as well, how tough is it to slow a team like that down when they do kind of get out and running like they do?
I feel like that's what we've been working on in practice every single day, just getting back in transition. It's been a primary focus. Charlotte, they run out in transition. Of course, this team ran out in transition, so Pacers run out in transition. That's a thing that we've been just working on a lot, that we just been trying to get better at. But this team, of course, they're really good at it. So we just got to get back in transition, build a wall, and just try to guard the ball, stop it, keep it in front of us.
Chris, you talked about the bench before. The criticism you guys were getting, it seems like you guys have turned a corner. You agree with that?
Yeah, game by game. Obviously, we got a lot of work to do, but I think we're getting better through practice, through the games, and we're finding a rhythm to each other. And hopefully we can keep that going. Probably get it started earlier in the first half and all. Will definitely help us win some games.
This was kind of a big stretch for you guys. 6 games at home, coming off some tough times. Did it feel like things got better overall, or are you still sort of where you were?
I definitely think we got better as a team. Still got some work to do, but I think from where we're going and the games that we lost and all, I think we're starting to find a rhythm, and guys are starting to find a better role, and the ball moves a lot better. I think we do just got to get a little bit better on defense, and the rest of it should take care of himself. We're shooting the ball a lot better than before, and that's something that we needed to get better at.
We keep asking you about Precious, but how important is it that he's up to 27 minutes now and playing a bigger role in that bench unit for the success you guys have moving forward?
I mean, it was definitely something that I'm sure Coach wanted to get done. He just came back from an injury and all that, so all the conditioning and all that probably played a factor on his minutes, but I think he's getting there, and like I said, he's a big piece for this team, so it's really good to see him get the reps and obviously producing.
You mentioned the defense improving and wanting to improve it more. What are you looking to improve team-wide and with yourself the most?
Just covering for each other, playing together. Obviously, some players, when they come to this arena, they've seen all the defense possible, and we can't just let somebody in the island with some guys. And just be in gaps, try to rebound a little bit better, group rebound, and know what guy that, we probably need 1 or 2 defender to be on it. And I think if we just a continuity of that, have people helping each other out, it's just going to make our defense a lot better.
All right, so what did you see in your first shift coming on from the bench, just because you kind of added an immediate spark in this game? Just trying to bring some energy. P found me for an open look. They doubled him, so I got an open look there. Then we got a turnover. So just trying to find the little plays that I can make.
What was your overall thoughts and feelings of this game? Because obviously you guys had a lot of momentum going into this one, winning 3 straight, and then this one kind of, I don't want to say it's a bad or anything, but it's just different.
Yeah, I think we just started the game off a little slow, and it kind of put us in a hole. And then after that, we were kind of playing from behind the whole game, and it's hard to do that against a good team.
Absolutely, and then defensively, of course, like, it felt like there were some breakdowns. Where do you think is the area that needs to be addressed kind of the most? Maybe there's practice next time or wherever.
I just think making sure we're all on the same page defensively and offensively. I think when we do that, we're a really good team.
And then, of course, you guys have the Knicks next week. What's the biggest area of concern when approaching them?
I think it just kind of depends on us. I think when we do the things that we need to do, we usually come out on top. So I think if we focus on ourselves and play the way we know how to play, then we'll be all right. Thanks.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Yeah.
So, first of all, for you, you've shot the ball a lot better this season than your first couple as a Raptor. What do you think, at three-point shooting specifically, was it something that clicked for you, or what do you think is the reason for that?
Just shooting them with confidence, getting reps up in the summer, getting reps up over the season, and then when you get a good look, just taking it with confidence.
What do you think is the next step for you? Like, Fred, obviously, once he started shooting, he really extended his range. Is that it, or is it more of a movement shooting for you? Like, when you get some time, say in the offseason, have you thought about like, the next step as a shooter?
Yeah, I mean, you can work on all of those things, I think. And I think I work on those right now, and we'll continue to work on them. So it's just, like you said, shooting off the move, shooting off the bounce, maybe trying to shoot a little farther, just trying to shoot in different ways. And then also when, you know, they're running at you, you can make plays a little easier. So a little bit of both.
With the role Scottie's in right now, and how many dribble handoffs he's running, do you like imagine being able to come off some of those handoffs and really movement shooting? Like, how much could that help you guys as a team if you had a couple more guys who were kind of movement shooters coming off those dribble handoffs with Scottie?
I think we got some good shooters on our team. I think as far as our team goes, we got a good roster. We got shooters. We got different people who can do different things. So it's just about all of us putting it together.
And lastly, it's just like a lot of guys on this team are really working on their jump shot, really developing that. That's been a thing with the Raptors for a long time. Do you think that shooting is like a natural skill, or do you think it's something that can be developed?
I think it's both. I think obviously some people are gifted as a shooter, but you can also work to become a better one.
I know you tried a lot of different kind of defenses, but you could not get those guards stopped of theirs, and that caused a lot of breakdowns for you?
Yeah, they got to some spots, and I thought especially, I mean, Trey's going to do, you know, a little bit of everything, as we all know, but I thought Murray was the one who really kind of, you know, got in there and just kept consistently making those kind of short turnaround jump shots there for a stretch when we were trying to, you know, when with stretches we were doing a pretty good job. Other guys, but also I didn't think, you know, we didn't sit down and guard some of their other guys very well when it did go off to them too. I know there's not a lot of big numbers there, but there's double figures for all of them, and when those guys needed to make a play, they were making hard drives into the paint, and we weren't keeping them out of there enough. Just pretty much too much paint touches allowed by us for the most of the night.
When you experimented in the fourth quarter with that very big lineup,
Yep.
Gary or Fred on the court, what was your goal, just to scramble the game a little bit? Or?
Well, I just was kind of looking for who I thought was having the best nights of the guys, and obviously Precious was playing pretty good, Chris was playing pretty good, Scottie was playing pretty good. You know, I just, that was kind of my top 5 for the night left, and I figured it'd give us maybe a better chance to you know, we weren't really guarding them very well with any of the other lineups, and it wasn't bad. I thought we made a nice run, had a couple chances there with some other things to even cut it down further and get right back in the game, but I thought we missed a couple critical, you know, plays offensively that probably could have pulled it a little closer, yeah.
It seemed like you guys had more live ball turnovers than usual, especially in the first half. I know you talk a lot about transition defense. How much tougher does it make on the transition D?
Well, we didn't get off to a very good defensive start in general, but we didn't score at all, right, to start the game again. And I don't think, listen, I don't think they were the greatest shots in the world, but I also don't think they were awful. They were pretty good shots. You got to make some of those, to start the game. So live ball turnovers or just live ball rebounds, right, are next in line as hardest to defend, right? And we just put ourselves in a constant defensive transition battle because our offense wasn't the ball wasn't going through the basket.
With Fred and Gary struggling like that, is that a little bit their defense carrying into their offense, or just an off night for those guys, or was something the Hawks were doing to try and take them out?
Well, first of all, they were doing a lot of switching. Right, so there wasn't a ton of room to play in space. They were trying to sit down and keep the ball in front with those two guys, and they switched a lot of bigger guys on them. I don't know. I thought Gary took some tough shots early, like really tough. Freddie had a couple of step backs that were he made his one and only one on one of those, and then he tried another one. But other than that, I think he had some decent chances there. So just probably an off night, really.
Nick, what have you learned about your team over this 6-game homestand?
Well, that we're got a long way to go with some consistency, right? I think that. I would have liked to have said we're making some progress with just being ready to go energy-wise and connectivity-wise and all that stuff. And then tonight it didn't look like we had very good energy to start the game, right? So we've got to find a measure of consistency with just moving, getting back, cutting more, all the things that energy provides, getting on the glass, a few more deflections. Again, one of those. We got to finish possessions because, again, there was a 4 or 5 possessions where we deflected the ball and they end up with something great. When we deflect the ball, we got to figure out a way to come up with it, or we make them throw a really errant pass and somehow it still ends up in their hand and they're shooting one more pass and they're shooting a wide open 3. I didn't think we rotated late in possessions very well. I didn't think once we saw where the ball was going, we sprinted out to get to some shooters. Even in transition, there was guys that were shooting, way too uncontested for our liking.
Thanks very much. Last question, please.
Yep.
The bigger lineup means that a lot of guys are guarding down towards the end there. What did you
Pardon
make?
me?
The bigger lineup
Yep.
at the end means guys are guarding down. What did you make of their ability to switch out and stop the play?
Yeah, it was better. I thought it was good. I thought it was better than what we'd seen most of the night. The bigger guys were doing better at keeping the ball in front and challenging. And I thought the defense was probably good enough in the fourth, and that was mostly those guys. Just needed to score a little more. We got it to the point of the front of the rim many times and came away empty. Right? I thought we had some great looks at 3, came away empty. Ran a couple sets where 3s were there and turned them down. Right? Just the rhythm wasn't great on offense during that stretch, but I thought the defense was.